Welcome to another episode, a special episode of Inside the Red Zone. I am your host, MJ. This is my co-host, Amir. Mir, how are we doing on this crazy free agency Monday?
We are very anxious. That's how we're doing.
As you can see, we're looking at our phones consistently. We have Twitter, aka X, opened at all times because of the craziness that went down earlier today and at this current moment right now. All right, so we just honestly, you guys, we're just gonna get right into it. This might not be, but this might be depending on what happens within these next few minutes. This might not be depending on a long show. This might not be a long show, but this might be a long. This might be a long show, give or take. So obviously, we are going to start with the one of the biggest headlines of the day: wide receiver veteran, Super Bowl champion. He honestly, we already know he's going to the Hall of Fame. We already know that he's going to be in fame when he goes to Canton. We already know that. Mike Evans signed a 3-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers. I have my opinions on it, but Samir, how you feel about that?
Honestly, I think that's a great signing. They're projected to release Brandon Ayuk. They need a wide receiver one, and I feel like we was discussing this last week. It can't just be Christian McCaffrey the only being the only guy. Mike Evans could still do it even after the injury. He proved that. So I give that like a B+ signing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Honestly, initially I was just mad about it because I saw for the Dallas Cowboys because I'm an biased Cowboys fan as well as Tamir. I saw after all the signings that we are doing, even though it was just like straight to Rashad, even though we have Rashad Gary and Jalen Thompson, safety from Arizona, I saw the pathway clearing for us in the NFC. I saw a clear pathway through the NFC. I saw it. I saw it. The 49ers were in our way. The Rams as of last week, they were in our way, but not too much. But then the 49ers just come in again. They just come in again. Because every year, it's always a habit. Every time that the Cowboys are good, it's either the 49ers are in our way or the
Or the
Green Bay
Packers.
Packers.
Yeah.
It's not even you. So you got it too. You got the notification too. You got the
What?
so Kendrick Bourne reached a 2-year
Yeah.
deal.
Is it? Wasn't he
Yep.
on the Niners?
Yep. Now I think he's in Arizona. Holo blazing gentlemen. With the Arizona and former wide receiver Kendrick Bourne reached a 2-year, $11.47 million max deal, 16.47. Oh, so he's on Arizona now. So Arizona definitely stocking up, ladies and gentlemen. That's breaking news. That is legit breaking news. So it's always in my case, it's always when we are on the strive for something, it's always those two teams that get in our way.
It's always
It's
them
not
too.
even it's always those two. We can't get past the 49ers, and we have not been able to get past the Packers in the playoffs, no matter who the QB is. So I just pray and hope that they don't have like a high effect on us in our season, even though it is because I think we do play the 49ers this year. I believe so. So depending on who goes up against depending on who go up against Mike Evans, like with us, it depends. It just depends because he can either have a field day with us or it could be a silent night, but Christian McCaffrey overdraft fee. So yeah, that's honestly good signing for the 49ers. Obviously, good signing because Brandon Ayuk is gone. Brandon Ayuk is going to go to the Commanders, so I'm not even worried about that. I'm not worried about that. He hasn't played in over a year, so we don't know what he looks like. What I also want to talk about, going to a different subject, what I do want to talk about today as well, is Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker III joining Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey on the Chiefs. I feel some type of way about that, but you just gave Patrick Mahomes another weapon in the draft. You before the draft, you just gave him another weapon. Samir, how you feel about that?
Well, I feel like now that I had time to think about it, I think the Chiefs could go wide receiver in this draft too. instead of going
Yeah.
with Jeremiah Love because they signed Kenneth Walker to I feel like a great deal for the value he brings. It messes with the fantasy. It definitely messes with like fantasy draft. But I think the Chiefs changed their mind to go get another wide receiver and then maybe another offensive tackle or a tight end. If Kenyon Sadiq is where at the 22nd, 29th pick, the
Hmm.
Rams gave him. I don't remember, but
Yeah, because right now NFL has Kenyon Sadiq going to the Eagles.
mm,
It makes sense, but I don't want to think about it. Um, when I saw this announcement, I didn't know how to feel. Cause one, obviously Super Bowl reigning defending champion, Super Bowl MVP. You're bringing your talents to Kansas City, whereas Patrick Mahomes is projected to come back week one after his ACL tear. I we all thought that I mean, not gonna say we all, but we had a feeling that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to do something big in this offseason. Like they need to be structured. They need to get back to square one because last year was the Kansas City Chiefs of yesteryear. We did not know what that team was. They had no identity behind Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was the leading rusher on that team. He's not going to rush a lot this year. He's not doing that because think about it. Travis Kelce just announced he's coming back for probably his last year. Who knows?
yeah.
And now you sign Kenneth Walker, and like you said, Tamir, they might go for wide receiver and they might go O line in the draft. Now I'll be shocked if they pair Jeremiah Love with Kenneth Walker. I'll be shocked if they do that. But in my personal opinion, I think that's a waste of a pick unless you're going to balance it out. Unless you decide that yeah, first down, second down is all Kenneth Walker, and then third down is straight Jeremiah Love, like he did with his former running back mate Shallow oh my gosh
Zach
Shallow
Charbonnet.
yeah Shaq Charbonnet. I'm like, oh my god, my brain went blank for like 2 seconds. So for me, it's just one of those things. How are they gonna do that? If okay, the Bears breaking news: the Bears just re-signed their offensive tackle Braxton Jones for 1 year or 10 million. And we're gonna get into the Lindenbaum signing by the Raiders. The Raiders have had a great day today. I'll definitely say that the Raiders have definitely have it's something
I think
a
they
lot of
won the
they
free agency today.
yeah, they definitely did. They made a lot of key signings today, beefing up that defense. After they literally beefing up the defense like about over an hour ago, they signed a Kobe Dean, and then like a few hours ago, signing Lindenbaum from the
They
Ravens
signed Quay
for
Walker too.
yo. I heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, it's looking like the University of Georgia on that defense. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's looking like the University of Georgia on that defense, but going back to Kenneth Walker, I think that's really an A minus signing in my personal opinion. If I were to grade that, I'll give it an A minus because Isaiah Pacheco riddled with injuries, unfortunate. Kareem Hunt, he's way past his prime as we know, and you're bringing a Super Bowl MVP running back into the team, and a person who just won a championship, so he knows what it takes to win a championship. So I think that's an A minus signing by the Kansas City Chiefs.
I agree with you.
All right. So obviously you're gonna get into the tackles, but before we get into tackles, Tua to the Falcons. Tamir, make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me, bro.
I mean, Michael Penix had multiple weapons over the years. Darnell Mooney, Drake London, was he wore the dude that wore number 43, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and he's been nothing but subpar. He's shown flashes, but he's
Tyler
never really.
Algier. Tyler Algier.
Oh, you Tyler Algier, he's never really took that next step. So I feel like them signing Tua to bring in some QB controversy into the locker room and making Tua really prove that he's able to be an NFL quarterback is like a B minus pick for me, like a B minus signing for me.
I I I don't understand it. I'm gonna be very blunt, audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be very, very honest about this. I'm gonna be very honest. Um, I don't get this signing for a few reasons. I don't get it because you already have a left-handed quarterback. on the team. Secondly, and no disrespect to Tua Tagovailoa, no disrespect to him, but every season, almost every season, ever since you stepped into the league, even going back to college, you have had a concussion injury after concussion injury after concussion injury, and you're always talking about, oh yeah, I want to be able to play with my kids when I get older. I want to be able to do this, that, and the third with my kids, bro. Granted, you're a backup quarterback, but this ain't even better for Michael Penix because his legs are made of ramen noodles. One sack to the leg and he's done. And so you have to rely upon another QB who is injury prone in the head as well. So basically, right now the QB room is just Michael Penix and Tua. I don't get this signing. I'm gonna be, and I get it. It's a 1 year deal. It's not like it's a 2 year deal, but but I think you could have gotten out. You could have really went out, and in my personal opinion, you could have got Marcus Mariota.
You could have, but at the
You,
end of the day, it would have been the same type of deal. I feel like it would just been like adding some QB controversy into the room to really push Michael Penix.
I don't. I went for Marcus Mariota's case. I think he knows that he's a backup because think about it, Jaden Daniels as well. He's behind Jaden Daniels, so I don't think it will develop into some QB controversy. I think it's just one of those things where it's just like just in case you get hurt because you were injured for part of the season last year and like really couldn't do nothing about it. We had Kirk Cousins at our QB, way past his prime, so we really couldn't do nothing. Like I just don't get the sign. If I were to grade the signing, if I'm being nice, I'll give it about a C plus. I'll give this thing about a C plus. I don't understand the signing to be quite honest with you. I really don't. Um, Transitioning now to the offensive tackles, and then I told Tamir this before we started the show. Tyler Smith is going to have a crazy season at offensive tackle. If Lindenbaum is getting paid crazy buku bucks to defend Fernando Mendoza, because I know that he's not the quarterback yet, but it's gonna happen regardless.
Pretty much,
It's
the
going
draft starts at number 2.
like we all know that Fernando Mendoza is going to be a Las Vegas Raider. We know that, but the fact that the Raiders and me and Tamir said this, the Raiders won today. They won today, hands down. They won free agency today. Not throughout the week, but we'll examine it as further down throughout the week progresses. The Raiders won today. And I think they're the team to look at, except for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in my person, on the Buccaneers on defense. But they definitely made a splash first day into free agency, picking up Lindenbaum, picking up McCoby Dean as we just mentioned, picking up Gary. Like it's a real this Las Vegas Raiders team is tired. You can tell they'd be tired of being a laughing stock of the NFL because you saw what happened last year. We
Yeah,
all saw we all bear witness to what that team was like last year. So Tamir, here's my question. After all the signings that we saw today, is it likely I say likely to the Giants. Is it likely that we start taking the Raiders seriously in the AFC West Division, or is it too soon to tell?
I feel like it's too soon to tell, but we definitely should keep an eye out on the Raiders in the AFC West division. They still gotta face the Chiefs and the Broncos, so it's
And the
still a very
Chargers.
competitive and the Chargers, so it's still a very competitive division. But we should definitely keep an eye out. We gotta see how Fernando Mendoza performs at this pro day.
Yeah, I think we all was are gonna because he wasn't at the combine, so we all have to like look into because he brings a lot of pros. He does bring a lot of pros to the conversation of being a QB1. First of all, he's intelligent. He reads defenses very well from what his draft sheet reports. So if you want that in a QB, and mind you, there's room for development as well because if he was intelligent looking at college because QB is a brain game as well. You have to be able to read defenses, Jalen Hurts. You have to be able to ID the mic, Jalen Hurts. You have to be able to know is this cornerback going to blitz me or is it are they going to fall back on defense, Jalen Hurts? So it's one of those things. Whereas You have to be able at the QB positions to know at all times what your offense is doing. You're in control of that offense, and I think Fernando Mendoza is going to bring that to the Las Vegas Raiders. But we'll just time will tell if he's the right guy for Las Vegas Raiders. Time will tell because the last time the Raiders had a franchise QB on their team was Derek Carr, and unfortunately that didn't go so well. So so I think the Raiders are the team to watch. I think, and this is a very very early prediction. I think the AFC West will is going to be the division that we keep our eye on throughout the entire season. It's going to be neck with the Chargers, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chiefs. It's going to be those four teams are going to be in a competitive state for locking up the West next year.
I agree with the whole statement. I feel like every division's changed up. Like the Titans are now a competitive team in their division. Man, you could even look at the Niners being back with the big dogs with the Rams and the Seahawks back in that division competing again with Mike Evans. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should keep a close eye on all those divisions who made big splash moves in this today, and particularly the teams that made the moves.
Exactly, because those are teams that want to win. But as far as Dallas goes, transitioning into Dallas and what we accomplished today, I think we made some pretty decent signs because we know that Jerry doesn't really indulge into free agency. We go through the same thing every year with free agency where other teams are making these big time signings and we're just like left. What are we
We're just
doing?
left in the past, and we're wondering why we can't beat these big time teams
And
because
we're
we
just
don't spend the
relying on the
money.
draft.
Yeah,
Exactly, and we're just relying on the draft to bail us out. The draft, and I think, and I'm grateful that Jerry Jones is slowly at this age realizing, oh snap, we are not going to win if I just rely on the draft. Because yeah, the draft is good; it sets players up for the future, but when they're gone, guess what? You have to replace them. It's a business. The NFL is a business. You have to. It evolves and it changes every single day, if not every week. So us for signing Rashad Gary and safety Jalen Thompson from Arizona, I think those are two big time moves on part of Dallas because Rashad Gary, he was Michael Parsons before Michael Parsons got to the Packers. They were that two man duo just rushing Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and Caleb Williams throughout the entire season. That was it. And yeah, that was their 1-2 punch. But it also helped us. But it also when they traded him earlier today, I saw us like, okay, so we're getting somebody to rush a QB. In which Sonny Styles draft stock, I think if nobody touches Sonny Styles within the first 10 draft picks, I think he can fall to us. I personally believe that he can fall to us. So if he does, God willing, praying, praying to Jesus that happens. I think our defense is going to be among the elite this season, especially with our new defensive coordinator. Tamir, how are you feeling about Dallas's pickups in the free agency today?
I like both of them, but I'm really just worried about. I'm seeing all these linebackers fly off the board. I'm really hoping that we pick up a linebacker, aka Devin Lloyd. That's my big free agent signing this year because I feel like if we get Devin Lloyd, we get an All Pro linebacker who is certified to be able to turn the ball over for this team. But the Rashawn Gary trade, honestly, it makes me wonder if we get Trey Henderson still, or if we
Mm-hmm.
moved on from our focus. Because if we could get both of those guys, that would probably give us a top 10 defensive line.
Oh,
And then all we got to worry about is the back end with the linebackers and DBs, and we can just patch that up in a draft. And then you get a whole offseason our new defensive coordinator. I feel like we could be a really dangerous looking team next year.
and like I said, next I'm not gonna lie to you. Prior to the previous 2 seasons, I was scared to have the ball in Dak's hand. I was scared low key because of all the pain and suffering that we've had to go through with Dak. I was scared to have the ball in his hands. That's why I was just like, okay, we have a defense now. But after seeing what Dak has produced, we've seen him have an MVP season. We've seen him have weapons and utilize those weapons. And even if one of those weapons are out, one of the wide receivers would step up and Dak would step up and feed him the ball as well. So now more than ever, I trust in Dak. I want Dak to have the ball on every possession. And yeah, clip this if you want to, YouTube. Clip this if you want to. I want my QB to have the ball in his hand. I want it in after the field generalship that he has shown this past season with GP3, Ferg, Javante, CD, after all the field generalship that we have seen from Dak Prescott, I like it. It's shown that he's matured on the offense. It's shown that he can read defenses. It's shown that he can manage his wide receivers to go, oh yeah, motion, motion, motion. Oh yeah, stay. Can. It's showing his maturity level, and shout out Shoddy for making him feel comfortable at the quarterback position. Cause I don't think Mike McCarthy trusted Dak in the quarterback position. I really don't think so. In the seasons we had him, I don't think he trusted him. I really don't think he trusted him. And Samir, I saw your face when I said that. I think you agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy never really fully trusted Dak Prescott. Dak didn't have as much command as he does now when Mike McCarthy was running the team. So I believe Shadi trusted Dak, and that like really gave Dak the confidence to really take over and do what he needs to do for this Cowboys team to succeed. As we saw, he willed us to 7 wins. We really should have less. If I'm being brutally honest, we should have had a top 8 pick in this draft. If I'm being so for real, Dak was playing like a middle. If Dak was playing like a above average QB, we would have had less than 7 wins. So the fact that he managed to will us there with the literal fourth worst defense of all time. I, now that we got a pretty solid defense coming in for Dak to give him some help, I feel like we got a good chance to make some noise this year
Mm-hmm.
if we stay healthy.
Exactly. If that's the part. If we can stay healthy, we will definitely give our analysis once the schedule comes out. Once the schedule drops after the draft, we'll give our analysis on which games we see us winning and which games we I do not see us winning. Only because I did not have us last year beating the. And I'll say this because this is the highlight of our season last year. This is really the highlight
Us
of our
beating the
season
Eagles, the Chiefs, in back to
in
back
all
games.
in 1 week. All and that was the
A
I will
21-point comeback.
and defeating the reigning Super Bowl champions
And then the
all
reigning
in
Super
one
and the
week.
reigning running ups. Oh yeah, we showed a lot of potential last year.
Mm-hmm.
Even with that sleeper agent as a defensive coordinator.
His whose name shall not be mentioned, and now is in San Francisco. Funny. I all I can say to close out this episode, because like I said, it wasn't gonna be a long episode. It is crazy that nothing has really happened since we dropped this episode. Since we're recording now, but I do want to leave you guys off with this before we close out. Don't just entirely do not be shocked. Hold up. Oh, it's just Tyler Lindenbaum got a signing bonus of $10 million.
Okay.
Oh, he's expected to ball out. But I'll leave you guys with this. Dallas is coming this season. Pause. They're I could tell Dak is hungry. After what happened this past weekend,
Yeah.
Dak is Dak is hungry. Dak wants that ring. Not a literal wedding ring, but he wants that ring. I could tell Dak wants that ring bad this year. So y'all, to close out this episode, be sure to follow, subscribe, follow our Instagram, follow our TikTok, ITR with MJ and Mir. Follow the Instagram, ITR, MJ and Mir. Subscribe to the YouTube Inside the Red Zone. Please continue following, show the support. Please show love to our boys at Inside the Locker Room. They just surpassed a year on their channel, so show some love to them. Yes, sir. Big ups to them. Big ups to them. Big ups to them. But just we're gonna keep in touch with this whole free agency, whatever's going on, this free agency frenzy that's going on right now. We're obviously gonna keep in touch with everything you guys on social media. So please tap in, comment, like, share, all the good works. All right, y'all. This has been Inside the Red Zone with MJ Amir. Peace.